Guys, this is Poetspice Jamie Lotulu, and I am here to do a design team project for the Not Too Shabby Shop. We are using the Arctic Winter Kit with these cute little bears, so forth that I colored up. Adorable. I love their little sweaters. Also, we have the two paper pads that are in the kit, the Arctic Winter. This is the one I used this today. And look at the little polar bears. Their little bellies are so cute. Oh my gosh. There's also the Sparkling Winter pad, which you can pick up. And then, of course, I had to use some extra dies because you know that's what I do. I have this die, and it creates a pocket for a gift card. So I put that in here. Then I also use those diamond press pieces. So we're going to use a 4x4 card base, and then I cut all the layers. So this is one that is 3/4 by 5 3/4. And so we're going to put that down. I've rounded the corners and just used a card base that I had in my stash. I also add glue in addition to the tape so that it will stick immediately, but it'll also give you some wiggle room. So that's a good tip for you to have in your arsenal. Next, I wanted to create some snowy hills. So I took the piece of paper and I tore it. And if you tear it one direction, you'll get the white edge if you have white core paper. And if you tear it the other way, you won't get that edge. But I've done this for 3 layers. I put the tape on the bottom, and I also do glue for the same reasons. And I'm gluing the edges as well. That way they'll stay down. But you can use the same technique to create water. If you're using like blue paper, you could do the same thing with sand if you were using some brown or craft paper. Or you could just take white, of course, and, just color it up. And you can make as many layers as you want to, and it'll give that feeling of depth if you use darker papers in the back and lighter papers in the front. And like I was saying, you could use blues to make water, and you could use sand. Now, I'm also lining these up, but I'm leaving space behind. So you saw me tuck my fingers behind there to show you that there's space, so that it's glued down. But what it'll do is it'll leave you those spaces so you can stick your items in your different layers. So it'll look like the snow or whatever you're using is in front or behind. And it helps create depth. This also kind of eliminates the use of using foam pads so that you can get a dimensional card without having to use so much thickness, okay? Which will also help when you mail it. So I'm going ahead and do this last row here so that I have my snow. And then you just want everything to line up. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the inside. I took another piece of paper from the collection, cut it down, and you can make your inside layer any size that you want. I'm going to use tape and glue again and put that down. This paper is so pretty. I love these greens and blues. So now I'm taking that piece where I used the die to cut out the areas for a gift card. And so here you can see where the gift card would go. Now, when you place this down, you want to make sure that you don't, so there you can see, you may want to make sure that you don't actually put glue on those little flaps. Otherwise you can't get it open. So I'm doing the same thing as I did here. Now, you can cut this piece. If you have a die like this, you can cut the piece that it's layering into as large as you want. So it could be the whole front of a card or whatever. You just want to make sure that you have enough space around the edge so that the tabs can lift up. So here I'm just checking to make sure that the tabs aren't stuck down. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on the front. So I colored up a bunch of those cute little bears. They're too cute. Absolutely love them. And I cut out some Merry Christmas pieces. And I also used one of those little banners that I had in my stash. So I'm just going to see which ones I like the best. I end up choosing the banner. I just love those colors. And then I'm going to sit here and play with the little bears for a while and try to figure out where I would like them to be. And here's just another little tip too. If you have any stamps or any stamps at all that you have, sometimes you don't necessarily feel like putting a whole project together right then and there. So you can just take your stamps, and if you have dies to match or a scan and cut, just color a bunch of them all up. And then next time you do a project, you'll just have a slew of pieces ready to go, and then you can just decide and pick and play. It'd be so fun. It's so fun. I love doing that. So I think I colored like 8 of these up just to play with. I'll give you an additional tip as well. If you have a scan and cut or any kind of thing that will allow you to cut out stamped images, if you don't have the die to match, you can also cut out the stamped image and then cut out the shape beneath it several times. And by gluing those things together, you can then create like chipboard pieces. So that's always fun. So here you can see I have my little bears all lined up. They look so cute. I was trying to decide if I wanted to layer up the white and green. But in the end, I did go with the banner. So now we're just going to use some glue to tack all these pieces down. You could also leave them free flowing. So you'll notice that the antlers I did glue down and then they didn't stick. And I'm kind of glad they didn't stick all the way, because that also gives it another little bit of dimension without adding bulk. So there's our project. Thanks for watching. Go check out the shop and look in the description box below and you will see all the links. And you can also find a coupon code for other items in the shop. There are some exclusions, so you want to make sure to check those out. But here we go. Look at them. They're so cute. Happy holidays.